Welcome to I Just Have to Say Something, where we discuss self-defense encounters, crime, and police accountability and public policies that impact the safety of everyone in our communities. Today I'm going to be giving my review of a YouTube video that's been seen all over the internet of a self-defender shooting an armed robber in a Houston taqueria. Now, the opinions that I'm going to give are coming from someone who's been caring for over 20 years, and I was a paramedic firefighter in the state of Florida. So I can safely tell you my perspectives are going to be a little different and are actually going to go against what many people say on the internet. Everything is linked in the description box below, and I would love to hear your comments. If you are a new or returning viewer, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell to keep up with the latest in self-defense news. Let's dive into this.
Houston police want to talk to the restaurant customer who shot and killed a would-be robber in the middle of a holdup this week. The incident was all caught on camera. Perhaps you've seen it already. Fox 26's Gabby Hart is live from South Gessner near Bel Air Boulevard where it happened. Gabby, what do you know?
A really disturbing video. I can tell you that that gunman, or the man carrying that gun, walked into this restaurant brandishing what turned out to be a fake gun. Unfortunately, though, he lost his life right here in this doorway after a customer pulled out a gun and shot him multiple times. I can tell you that we spoke with an attorney today about the possibility of that customer facing charges. Around 11:30 Thursday night, a masked man walked into a taqueria on the 6800 block of South Gessner near Bel Air Road. Video shows him pointing a gun at patrons and demanding money. Pay attention to this customer. As soon as the robber walks in, he starts fiddling around near his waistline. And when that robber walked past him a second time, he opened fire.
I believe that everyone has consensus that the initial 4 shots were completely justifiable under Texas state law, and I have no problem with what this defender did. However, the next few seconds is where I have a problem.
That customer fired 9 shots. Once the robber hit the ground, the customer continued firing as he approached the suspect and took his gun. After he took that gun, video shows the customer let off a final shot in the direction of that robber's head.
And now, that's where I have a problem. He shot him 4 times. He shot him 8 times. He is down. He is down so far that you were able just to walk up to him and take his gun. You take a step back and you put 1 round into his brain for good measure. So let's play devil's advocate here. I was a paramedic firefighter. I have heard of many people surviving multiple gunshot wounds. So let's say that a level 1 trauma center was just a few minutes away, that an advanced life support ambulance was just a few minutes away, and after the autopsy, they determined that this criminal could have lived through his initial 8 shots, but what killed him was that final shot to the brain. Now we don't have a case of self-defense. We have some kind of case of murder, in my opinion. I'm not an attorney, but if somebody's down for the count and you walk up to him and do a John Wick on him, that's murder. That's some kind of variation of murder, because you went from being a victim to being an aggressor. And that's what I have a problem with. I love to see what the autopsy says about what actually was the mortal wound. I have no sympathy for violent criminal actors, so he gets what he deserves. However, with the responsible gun ownership, we must understand the line between self-defense and vengeance.
He died at the scene. After the robber was down, the shooter realized that the gun he was brandishing was fake.
This is Texas.
Price Brown is a local criminal defense attorney.
I was not able to tell, just from looking at that video, that that was a fake weapon. And just by actually taking out a weapon, pointing it at people, especially in a situation where you're robbing people, it establishes that, that person is willing to use it.
Some people might say, well, why did you have to shoot him so many times?
Until he's completely been neutralized, he is still a danger to everybody.
And I totally agree with this attorney. You keep shooting until the threat stops. What I have concerns about is that final shot that appears to go to the head. So what comes into question is that last shot after you've already disarmed your attacker. Was that shot necessary? And was that shot the actual cause of death?
Customers retrieved their money and belongings and left. The customer who shot that robber threw a coffee mug at him as he exited. No one attempted to render aid. As of right now, the police would only like the shooter to come forward for questioning. And we asked Attorney Brown about the chances of a grand jury actually indicting that customer.
I believe it's unlikely.
And Brown says if the shooter is indicted, it would be an easy case of self-defense.
The individual who used lethal force to neutralize the situation was well within his rights to do so.
Now, we're told that shooter was driving a 1980s or 1970s or 1980s pickup truck without a bed. They do, again, want him to come forward for questioning. They also want any customers who were here that witnessed this to come forward as well, because everyone left after that shooting took place. And as for the man who lost his life here, we're waiting on the coroner to release his identity. Of course, as soon as we learn more, so will you. I'm reporting live. Gabby Hart, Fox 26 News.
And again, I would tend to agree with this attorney if it wasn't for that last shot. Then you throw in a cup of coffee and leaving the scene. And some prosecutors out there may argue, I want to know what shot was the one that was fatal. Why did you shoot someone who was so incapacitated that you were able to walk up to him and take their gun? Why did you throw that cup of coffee on him if you weren't angry? And why did you leave the scene if you didn't feel guilty? These are the things that we need to take into account when we're good self-defenders and responsible gun owners. And after the autopsy, we'll come to find out what actually killed this robber. But I have my questions, and I'm kind of looking at this through the prism of my medical training, my 20 years of concealed carry, and trying to lens this through the eyes of an aggressive prosecutor. Make sure to carry safely and legally, and always be ready to defend yourself and those that you love. Thank you for visiting. Please like and subscribe and share this video.